Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video on Superman Lois Season 4. Today we're going to be breaking down the Episode 4 photos that have just been released alongside a big teaser to do with the series finale. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. Okay, so before we get into today's main topics, I want to remind you guys we're doing a Q&A video in the next couple of days, so go check out my community tab where you can comment and leave your theories and questions in regards to Superman Lois Season 4, and you will be featured in an upcoming video later this week. But for now, let's go ahead and get into today's main topic. So as I said at the start, we're breaking down the promo stills that have been released for Episode 4. Obviously, I did a video yesterday on Episode 4 talking about the title and synopsis that they released for the episode alongside a sneak peek which featured Lois and Chrissy at the Gazette. So go check out that video if you haven't watched it yet, but these promo stills are released later on in that day, and so that's why it wasn't included in yesterday's video, and I thought, you know, these are good stills, so let's bring it up in today's video as one of the main topics. And then towards the end of the video we got a Screen Rant article to break down because they talked to Will Parks about the series finale. So let's go ahead and get into this. So the first photo is of Lois. Now this is the exact same scene that you saw in the sneak peek of Lois and Chrissy. You can see a wider shot of this close-up, and I don't think this is going to be like one of the biggest scenes in the episode because it's relatively tame from what we saw from the sneak peek. It's literally Lois and Chrissy looking at the board where they've got Lex's minions and they're all like pasted up on the board, like their mug shots and also different newspaper clippings and information that they need about them. And as I mentioned in yesterday's video, they're going to be targeting Gretchen specifically and potentially Otis, although it seems Otis is more on Lex's side, but we know that they're going to be targeting them because Lex never leaves a trace, and obviously he's got a pile of bodies that are starting to stack up with him killing people, and potentially one of them could slip up and they're going to try and use that fear of Lex to get one of them to turn on Lex eventually, and I think they're going to be targeting Gretchen. But as I said in yesterday's video, Amanda McCoy isn't up there, so I don't think Lois has the full picture about everyone that is involved with Lex right now, because Amanda's more involved in the business side of things, whilst these people are literal henchmen who are doing bits and pieces for Lex in Smallville. And I don't know if they plan to release these photos, but it kind of coincides with the release of the sneak peek. So the main idea here definitely is just to show the return of Chrissy Beppo, who obviously hasn't been in the season yet. She is a returning character. Obviously she was a series regular previously. She is a pretty big character, although I would argue she is probably one of the least popular and important characters on the show just based on her role. Like, she's not a family member or anything. Obviously she's got the relationship to Kyle. They're supposed to be getting married in this episode. The episode title is called A Perfectly Good Wedding, and that's in reference to them, of course. But her strongest link really is to Lois and working at the Gazette, with her being like the only two employees. So that is the main reason that she's been the series regular in the last couple of seasons. And so she is back, and she's going to be in this episode, and presumably she'll show up in some other episodes this season. But let's move on to the next photo. This is of Kyle, who is returning in this episode. This is our first look at him, so it's actually kind of exciting to see him because he has traditionally been a big character. He was in most episodes of the show just because of his relation to Lana, Sarah, and everyone, because they were obviously together earlier on in the show and then they split up, and now he's kind of gone off and done his own thing over the last season or so, and obviously he had a connection to Jonathan last season. But for this episode, his main link is going to be to Chrissy and them potentially getting married. Now Sarah is here as well, and she is once again waitressing at the diner. It seems that is a common theme. We already saw her with one of her best scenes in the entire show with Lex a couple of episodes ago, and she was obviously working at the diner, so it seems she is working here full time. She is very busy, and we know later on she's still going to be working here, so it seems this is going to be a big part of her story, or at least it's like her base where she operates from. And so she is here with Kyle and Chrissy, but she is serving them. But it seems like Kyle has just introduced Sarah to this woman. Now I have no idea who this woman is. It could be a friend. She's definitely not old enough to be Kyle or Chrissy's parents, so I would say it's maybe either a friend of theirs or it's someone that is going to be helping with their wedding, because as I said, this is all to do with their wedding in this episode. So potentially the person who's going to be planning it, we know it's an impromptu wedding, so maybe it's like a local Smallville townsperson who does weddings, and they're like, okay, please meet at the diner, let's talk about this because we want to get married ASAP. Again, I don't know what the rush is. I don't know why they're rushing it like this and why is it so impromptu. So we'll have to wait and see. But we got a couple more photos before we move on to our next main topic. And this photo is just a slightly different angle. You can see them here, and Kyle is there, Chrissy's there, and also the mystery woman, but also with the director of the episode, who funnily enough, his little brother is going to be playing Jimmy Olsen in a later episode of the show. So looking forward to seeing what he has to offer. He is a regular director on the show, and even though this episode is supposed to be Kyle and Chrissy centric, that's what they've teased for A Perfectly Good Wedding, I believe this is not the whole story. I think you're still going to get the Lex Luthor side, obviously with Gretchen and Lois trying to target them. Jonathan and Jordan are probably going to be using their powers, probably more Jonathan this episode, since Jordan is definitely in a sticky place right now. And you've got the potential return of Superman. We talked about that in yesterday's video because he did wake up last episode. So I wonder, is he going to be at the fortress? Are we going to see that? What else are we going to get in episode 4? We'll have to wait and see. But we've only got a few days left, and I will confirm to you guys, I'm going to be watching the episode before I have been sent it. I'm very lucky. And I will be releasing my review and breakdown of episode 4 right away after the episode finishes airing on Monday night. So as we've done in the last couple of weeks, just tune in right after the episode ends, come straight to my channel, and you'll be able to watch my video where we break down the episode in depth. So let's move on to our next main topic. This is coming from Screen Rant, and this is all to do with Will Parks, and they did an interview with him, and they've basically pulled out a quote. And the quote is very interesting. So this is how it goes. So Will Parks says this: I know that John Henry was stuck in traffic, I guess, in response to the question, which was in regards to like, why didn't he show up and why wasn't he helping Superman? And he says, I don't know, but I promise he's going to be back, and I've got to give the writers and producers a lot of credit. We've had a lot of budget constraints. But the cool thing is that I think they did a really, really good job based on what we had to do. But everyone's going to see everybody in episode 10. That is the finale. Everyone's in episode 10, so I don't think that is a spoiler, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So there you have it. The way that he talks about the finale, it seems like the series finale is going to be very big on delivering for those characters that obviously have been popping up this season and were series regulars in the past, like his own character. And so it will definitely be a big episode, an event episode almost. And you know, there is always the chance that they could be airing the final 2 episodes back to back, so that would be exciting. And so he confirms everyone is in episode 10, and I don't think that's a spoiler. So what do you guys make of that? Because when I first saw these comments, I thought to myself, well, how can that be true? Because General Lane just died. You know, Dylan Walsh just wrapped the show. So how is he going to be in it? So I'm guessing it's just an oversight on his part, and he's saying everyone that is alive in the show is going to be returning in the series finale. So I don't think we should read too much into it. And obviously you got the photo on screen of them shooting the finale, and you can clearly see General Lane is not there, the actor that plays him is not there, but everyone else is there who has been a series regular in the past, including Kyle, Chrissy, Sarah, Lana, and then you got John Henry Irons and Natalie, of course. So the only person that is missing is General Lane, and that's because in the show he is dead, so how can he return? And so one interesting thing here is that you've got Tyler, he's also in his boots, so that means that, yeah, you're gonna get Superman in the finale. It's going to be epic, you're gonna have fight scenes and everything. Again, it remains to be seen if Lex is the main big bad, and if Lex versus Superman is the final battle. We know they've teased Brainiac. I'm going to make a separate video on that tomorrow because we got an update in regards to the casting. But Tyler will be suited up as Superman in the series finale of Superman Lois. And one last interesting thing is that Sarah, or Indy, who plays Sarah, is actually in crutches. Now, I don't know if this is because she injured herself in real life or if this is an in-character thing, but if it is actually something in the show, like potentially she's been attacked and potentially Lex has gone after, obviously, Lana's family. Obviously, Lana knows that her family would be threatened if she does turn against Lex. Lois has already warned her already in the season, so potentially there could be some big consequences. But that pretty much does it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. It would really help this video get out there. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. And for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.